I got Marianne, who's our communications director. We've got another Marianne. Is she here? We got another Marianne who works for the communications team. We've got LaDebra. Where's LaDebra? Okay, LaDebra, she's working with our communications team. We have Dory. She's going to work with our over 55 community, making sure we serve clients. Is Antoine here? Antoine is our volunteer coordinator. He does all the volunteer stuff. We have Ra. Where's Ra? Ra's outside. He's the one set up as a DJ. He's also with our IT team. And we have Ann. Now, Ann has a special job, okay? We have decided that questions that you have are questions that she comes up with, or more like questions Marianne comes up with. If you give those to Marianne or Ann, they will ask me, I will answer, and they will post those questions for you. We've decided to do that at least two to three times a week, where we have a question and answer session. So if you get your questions to them, I will answer them to the best that I can. And normally I don't have but a day preparation for the answers, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm one of those people that speak from the heart. So most of the time when I talk to you about things, it's coming from my heart. I don't like using notes. So you barely ever see me using any notes, and I like to move around, as you can tell. But once again, I'd like to thank you for all being here. Thank you for your great work. For those who have volunteered, thank you for your support for everybody else. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna change the narrative, and we're gonna make sure that Washington understands that we vote because you support what we vote for. And we're gonna make it happen. Thank you.
Let's give it up for our congressional representative. The next voice in Washington, D.C., Flynn Broady.
On that table in the back, there is a printout of the answers that Ann elicited and he gave, and you're welcome to take them home and share them with your friends.
Very good.
And there will be more.
Very good. Very good. So we're going to pause. Ra, are we ready for a little music? A little music, but I want to say this as we get ready to pause, because I want us to intermingle and of course you want to talk to your future congressman here.
And we're also going to let other candidates that are here speak a little bit later.
That's correct. That's correct. And so we want you to hang around, enjoy the food, enjoy the music, enjoy each other. But just remember this, as Flynn has already shared, and his position is very clear. I can tell you one thing that he knows that I will do in my role is whatever policy that he considers, I want to know, is it right for everyone, period. You can't just create a nation where you have a whole bunch of have-nots and a few haves, because I'm telling you, according to the Bible that I read, that ain't sustainable. And so it's our expectation of him that whatever policy, whatever law, whatever approach, it has to lift all people. All people. It has to be what's right. It has to be what's right. It has to be what's right. And so he knows that we will, you will hold him accountable for that. And one thing I know about him, because I'm the same way, it must be in the DNA. We don't mind folk holding us accountable for doing what is what? Right. What's right. What is right. And if you think about the least of these, and you do what's right, it's amazing. We live in a moral universe. When you do what's right, it always works out for the good. And so you've got a great guy, you've got a great couple here, support them. You've got other candidates that we'll hear from. Ra, we want to get started. You want him to speak right now?
Salvatore has to leave, so we're gonna let you.
Come on, come on, come on. Introduce yourself.
I gotta go to a wedding, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm not getting married. My name is Salvatore Castamana. I'm running for the 35th House seat. We haven't had a challenger on the Democratic side since 2010. So this is really exciting because the guy that's been there since 2005, I think he's from 1940, so backwards. So we're gonna beat him. But Flynn was talking about changing the narrative. And not only do we need to change the narrative, we don't need to be afraid to talk to people. I'm gonna tell you a little story that happened to me a few weeks ago. I like walking in the woods with my dogs. I go on long trails, long walks with them. And a few weeks ago, I come across this guy, a big white guy, about 38, 40 years old. I say he's about 200, probably about 300 pounds, real big guy. He's wearing a camouflage pants. He has his dog with him. And we start talking. His name's Bobby. And he said that he went in the war, he fought in Iraq, and he likes to shoot his AR-15s. He likes to go wild boar hunting. And all I could be thinking of, this has got to be a Trump supporter. You know, just everything he talked about, guns, hunting, and everything. I figured, you know, I'll just keep my mouth shut about what I'm doing. But he asked me, and I found that he lived in my district too. And he said, what do you do? I said, well, I'm running for office. And he goes, what office? I said, State House 35, where you live. And then the dreaded question, what party are you with? And the first thing I did was to see if I could outrun him. I knew my dogs could, but I didn't know if I could. So I told him Democrat. And he said, good, you got my vote. And my jaw just hit the ground. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna vote for you. I said, so you're a Democrat too? He said, well, I don't agree with the Democrats on everything. I disagree with them on the gun issue, but he said, let's face it, the thing that's gonna affect this country in the next few years is income inequality. I was like, oh my God, this guy's so right. I mean, and we became good friends. And I think there's a lot of Bobbies out there. We need to talk to them. Don't be afraid to talk to them. If you think they're a Trump supporter, talk to them. Don't be ashamed of what we stand for. Because right now, income inequality is a big issue. Back in 1928, the top 1% controlled 24% of the money. And now, today, they control 22%. Economists are saying in the next year with the tax cuts, it could be 25%. 1% of the population controlling one-fourth of our money. That's not good. That's an oligarchy, and that's scary. And those are the issues we need to let people know that we're fighting for. We're fighting for them. We're fighting for healthcare. We're fighting for sensible gun control. We're fighting for workers' rights with the Supreme Court on the edge of turning very conservative. States to speak up for our rights. So please support down candidates for this time here. First candidate to the store. We talked for a long time. He said, no, we're just so happy that candidate here. You know, we're all very side. And yes, Kelly and I got cussed out on one house. They threw us out. To know there's one person out there that really is proud that Canada will come out there and talk to. You know, talk to people. Only change the narrative. We need people to come out and say Georgia suppressing votes. Speak. All the voter rolls, people that didn't vote before 2014 are not since 2014. You have to talk to people and support the down ballot.
Okay. Well, get to know someone, talk to your candidates that are here, and let's listen to the music and enjoy the food. We'll be back shortly.